Hey everybody, give us a quick second and we're going to be jumping on in a second. Hey everybody, hope all is well. We're going to need 3 more minutes before we jump on Instagram Live. So sorry about the delay.
Hey, Will, can you hear me?
Nice and clear. How are you guys?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Let's get over back. How you guys looking?
What's
Well,
up, Eduardo?
You got a
can you hear
nice
me?
house today. Gonna look good today.
Can
How
you
you
hear
guys?
me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Eduardo. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
There you go.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good.
Nice.
Just kind of cold yesterday, so I'm gonna be blowing my nose a
Oh
lot.
no.
I've been getting that also from a couple of my guys have been getting sick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy because it's really hot over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they're doing it on purpose, dude. They know what they're doing. The government, bro. It's the government.
it's the government. It's all the government.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We're setting it up to go live. We're just trying to get it all set now.
Let me get a snack.
Perfect.
Should I get a beer?
Right? It's like, oh, is that the party? Alrighty. If you guys can check on your Instagram lives, if you guys could see it, well, it's going to stream it on it probably. I just want to make sure it pops up on your ends. You know what I mean? Just to make sure it's all up and running. because it's on YouTube, so we'll edit it up just like last time. And get little snippets of it just in case you guys want to chop it up yourselves. But if you guys can check on Instagram itself, so it can tell you if the thing is live or not.
I logged in through the email that you sent me, so probably have to click on the one from Instagram. So I
Yeah.
might
Well,
log out
no,
and then log back in.
no, you have to use the link I sent you because we're streaming it through.
Okay, so then we're good then, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're good exactly where it's at. I just want to make sure, like, if someone opens up their Instagram app, like for example, we have a multiple accounts. So if I go on another account, I can watch it and read the comments because right now it's streaming it, so I can't see the comments.
Yeah, I can't see anything. I just see you, but I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Oh
That's why
yeah, there you go.
I'm going to hold my phone next to me.
No, the live is good. I see myself. I see Will.
Okay, perfect.
Eduardo's screen is black though.
Yeah, because when I just went to go check the Instagram account,
Oh,
so
Okay.
it kind of like kicked me out.
it
So
I
cancels
got that.
your.
so I don't know
Oh,
what's going on Instagram then.
No, it's live. It's live. It's just it can't. It's only going to record you through one platform. You know what I mean?
All right,
So
so then I
I'm
believe
gonna
we won't be able to see like the comments, right?
no. I'm going to read the comments. I'm going to have my phone next to me.
All right, let me know if somebody's talking shit about me, okay?
Oh, bro.
yeah, for real.
All right.
Wait, so are we on YouTube or no? This time?
We're on YouTube and Instagram right now. So if you guys want to give a little introduction of yourselves, hold it down. You need 2 more seconds.
1 second. Let me just post it on my stories too.
So Eduardo, if you want to start off by introducing yourself,
Sure. My name is Eduardo Guzman. I am the owner, CEO of Ova Electric, and I'm in my second year as a business owner. So,
Perfect.
yeah, that's all I can say for now. It's been a
And why does this topic touch you?
sorry, what was that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, let me just make a story real quick and then I'll chime in as well. One second. So much work trying to be on social media, man.
Yeah.
Almost there. I don't even know where Will went.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
All right. There we go. I'm back in action. All righty. We got that. We got this. Can you guys hear me okay on the mics?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about everybody in the comments? Can you guys hear us all right? Got the comments rolling. We're gonna look at the only comments that I can't see are on YouTube, unless if any of you guys have YouTube pulled up. That was funny. We have one comment was like somebody said it was like lick your dang lips. Make sure you guys stay moisturized.
Yeah, that was weird. It was super weird.
All righty, everybody. So hope everyone's doing well, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Immigrants Who Built America. Last week we had a nice introduction. We had Sergio Barajas and Endy, both from NCAH, which is developing leaders within the skilled trades, within the construction industry, to have a voice in the Hispanic community. We have Endy Segura again with us today, and we have Eduardo who's with us from OVA Electric. And today's lesson, we're going to be going over on episode 2, who's really building America. And once again, we're bringing this topic because we see what's going on across the nation. We see what's going on the West Coast in LA. A lot of people have two sides to the coin, two sides to the story, and it's either get them out of here or we're just trying to make a living. So it's really extreme on left side versus right side. We're trying to have an honest conversation, see what ways we can collaborate, see what ways we can talk about, especially ones who are in the field actively, who live in the LA County area, and figure out what's really going on, because the only way we can overcome these circumstances is we have this dialogue. So we're here respectfully. We're here not to have a fight or, one way is the right way of thinking versus the other. We're just trying to have an honest communication. And once again, we have Endy, Segura, we have Ova. Why don't you two guys introduce yourselves for everybody who's listening today for episode 2?
Yeah, go ahead, Eduardo.
Again, my name is Eduardo Guzman. I am the CEO of OVA Electric, and this is my second year in business. And it's been a pretty fun ride. It's definitely not what we might have expected. And thank you, Will, for having us right here, and then giving and having us give our little points of view on the such touchy subjects. So thank you.
Always, brother, and I appreciate you. Endy, you want to introduce yourself again for everybody who probably didn't see us in episode 1?
Yeah, so what's up, everybody? My name is Endy Segura, CEO of Energen Electric. And same thing, I've been in business a couple years already. I've been an electrician for about 13 years, decided to start my business, and I've been meeting a lot of really interesting people now, like Will, like Eduardo, like our previous guest, Sergio, who happens to be the director of NHCA, the National Hispanic Construction Alliance, of which I'm a board member of the Los Angeles chapter. And it's a nationwide nonprofit organization that's dedicated to elevate the construction worker into leadership positions, into becoming a contractor, to becoming a business owner, and then a developer, if they choose so. Or if you're already a contractor, then we have resources to, make you an even better contractor.
What I love about that is, once again, just like at Energize Us, we want to build builders, we want to build leaders. And for me personally, one of my dreams is to be on every job site possible, but I recognize that's impossible. I know I'm never going to physically be able to be on every single job site. But when I build Energize Us, just like everyone who's a part of the organization, we all want to be a part of everyone's job. We want to be a part of everyone's company. We want to be a part of everything that's going to build the future. And if we can help with resources, with education, with apps, with different ways of teaching you guys to be better builders and leaders in the industry, at some way, shape, or form, we're going to be a part of that project. Either if you took one of our classes, even if you took the apprenticeship with us. So it's nice to see organizations like Endy that they're a part of, and as well as OVA, that are at the same time equipping you with the tools, resources that you need so you can be successful as a contractor in the construction industry, especially with your Hispanic background and the community. Because like last week, we talked about, we make up the majority of the workforce, yet for some reason, we don't have the viewpoint, or we don't have the leadership capacity that we deserve. So that's why we're having conversations like this, so we can help each other have these conversations so that we can be the leaders that the industry needs. And no better way than to have you two guys, Endy here, as well as Eduardo, to go over topics like today. The topic of today, episode 2, is who's really building America? And I think Endy hit it off last week when he said, come on guys, look at every single construction project that you're at, look at every single job. You know who's running the jobs. You know who's getting their hands dirty. You know who's building the projects. You already know the answer. So in today's episode, we're going to say it out loud. Today's episode, we're going to talk about it. And that brings us to our point number 1. How come immigrants dominate the labor trades like roofing, concrete, drywall, and framing? I want to hear from you two guys first.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I would probably say is because a lot of us Latinos and Hispanics. So I'm an immigrant now. I'm a citizen. I've been here since I was 2 years old, and everybody is a farm worker. Everybody is a day laborer. They walk 3 miles to get water. They walk 10 miles to go to school. So everybody in our countries is just used to physical labor, right? There's not a lot of technological jobs where they come from, so it's already kind of in their culture and their DNA. So they're gonna gravitate to those types of jobs, because like you mentioned before, Wilson, in order to become a good business person, you need to have soft skills as well as the hard skills. And a lot of people that cross the border have all the hard skills. They're really good at it, but they unfortunately don't have most of the soft skills that you would need to elevate. And that's where your organization and NHCA is going to step in and make sure that the next generations of workers have those capabilities that they can absorb, they can come and learn.
I like that. And you touched on one point, and I want to get to it later on because it's going to go back to which side of the trades do we dominate primarily on. And I want to get more information on you. But Ova, what do you think about that, brother?
Well, on my perspective, and first of all, like Andy was saying, it's really in our DNA because that's all we know how to do. You know, I remember that my parents had two jobs. Both of them. I hardly ever saw them. We don't come from a family of scholars. We don't have any doctors, dentists, lawyers in our family. So all we know how to do is just work because
Mhm.
those were the famous words that were um, seeped into us about if you don't work, you're not gonna be able to do anything in your life, and you just have to work hard and um it's just the reality of it. I don't want to say that us Hispanics are the only ones that are really building this beautiful country. There's a lot of other other nations that have helped build this country, and I think, to me, my perspective is that it's just the acknowledgement and the respect that we all deserve. That's pretty much it. But going back to our my Hispanic roots, is it's that's all we know how to do, to be a hard worker. And that's why I also feel we have that issue of not being good business owners, because we hate doing office work. you know we want to be in the field, we want to be over there tackling stuff, being things that are tangible. That's what we want to do. So when it comes to office work, it's just we're not used to it.
I
So
agree.
we feel that being in the office is like, leave that for somebody else.
Yep.
So that's my perspective.
I love what you tackled, both of you guys. You focused both on when it comes to getting the job done. True or not, we have no ands, ifs, or buts about that. We'll get a job done. No matter what it takes. We have very strong family ties, very strong community ties. Where you see somebody who needs to build a deck in a weekend, and they'll bang it out on Saturday. There's memes out there. True or not, where they said the boss fired everybody and they hired this one guy, Miguel. They make jokes about it because they understand, like, hey, when it comes to skilled labor, the immigrants have the best background in that. Sure enough.
Yeah.
And then the next part you guys touched on was where we, sometimes have a trouble on, and that's in the soft skills. That's where it comes to communicating, office work, office management. a lot of that stuff can be an issue for us because with our upbringing also, it's just like tell us what to do and we'll do it. We don't take that leadership role in going, hey, this is what we have to do, this is how we delegate. It's just like let's go to work, and we're so passionate about that work where we neglect on these sides. But I want to ask you, because if you guys notice on the key points of this first topic, I want to ask you something even more personal, and it applies to us a lot. And with our backgrounds, I want to hear your input because they say immigrant labor dominates the trades. Awesome, we agree with that. But why do you guys think, and we can tie it with the soft skills, why do you think we dominate more on trades like roofing, concrete, drywall, and framing rather than the skilled trades under licensing, electrical, plumbing, HVAC? What do you guys think about that? I feel like that's going another level deeper. And does it apply? And is it affected by the lack of soft skills that we have? What do you guys think? And we understand in LA, everybody and their mothers, a C10. I'm saying in the rest of the world, in the rest of the US, you don't see that. Like for me, example, there's even fewer Latino companies as an electrician on the East Coast. But I want to hear from you guys first and your perspective.
Yeah, I think just like Sergio said it yesterday, that language is a big thing as well. If they don't know that they can take their exams in Spanish to become licensed or become certified in anything, or to even start a business, all that information is not readily available. But I think it goes hand in hand with the fact that the labor is in their blood. We know how to work with our hands, and becoming a worker for a roofing company, there's not much training that goes into it. They make a decent amount of money, pretty good money, for someone that is probably just sending some money back to their relatives where they're coming from. Um, but yeah, it's a secure job. They don't have to really worry too much about, like I said, doing things to code, or having certain certifications. And then further than that, the companies that hire them, they don't have to train them very much, right? Like as for me, or as electrical contractors, we have to find someone that's trained very well, or at least dedicate a lot of time and energy into training. And it's not going to make sense if you're going to get someone that's undocumented that might, leave, go back willingly, because undocumented people go back and forth, quite a bit.
Yep.
Less and less now. There's less people that are actually coming back. They come here, they work, and then they go back, and then that's it. So the numbers of them coming back is going down and down. So, but yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with the companies that are looking for, relatively cheap labor. I mean, they still do get paid pretty well, I think, sometimes, but it's just they don't need to get trained up as much.
Good point. How about you, Eduardo?
Um, Sorry, can you just repeat the whole question so I have everything mixed up right here?
We were talking about how Latinos and Hispanic and immigrants make up and dominate the trades. We all agree on that. But over here, we have statistics saying that 21% of all the ones within the skilled trades are leaning towards trades like roofing, concrete, drywall, and framing, rather than skilled trades, which are like electrical, mechanical, and plumbing. Why do you think that's the issue? And does that tie with the soft skill?
Yes, I definitely do believe that this definitely ties into soft skill. I was actually coincidentally just having a conversation today with I was at a job site. We're finishing up a trim at a house, and the cleaning lady came out, and she asked me if there was any insight that I could give to her for her son, because her son is 17 and she doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. They've talked to him that he has to go to college and whatnot. And the first thing that came out of her son's mouth was college is too expensive, and I think I'll just mm, do construction or something quick. So again, it just, I believe it just goes back to our roots. I mean, the cleaning lady and her husband, they both work in that area. They're I believe the husband does landscaping and she's does house cleaning. So like she said, they don't come also from a family of scholars. The son already knows that he's gonna lean towards, some sort of trade in rather than going to school. So it just ties them back to how we are just raised. Even in families in Mexico, it's the same thing. They just, all they do is just work, and it's rare also for to see the new generation of Mexican people or Hispanics try and tackle on a degree.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's just in us.
so just the extra work it takes to become licensed in electrical plumbing that might push some away. Your guys are saying, right? I think the same
Yeah,
too. So
yeah,
now,
yeah.
what I love is what you guys both mentioned is like once again it goes back to the work. It goes back to those memes where you ever heard that comedian? What was his name? Endy, you may know this guy off the top of your head. The one he just did a podcast with Patrick Bet David, the comedian from New York City. Um,
Andrew Schultz.
Andrew Schultz. Did you see Andrew Schultz stand up when he talked about the Hispanic community or Mexicans? He said in Egypt, when people said, "How was these pyramids built?" and they go, "Egyptians don't have the reputation of workers." So when they go, "Egyptians built this," that's a lie. It has to be aliens. And he goes, it's racist when Mexico has the same pyramids and nobody denies the fact that they
No one
built that.
asked them.
True or not? Isn't that funny? Like,
Yes.
you understand, they're like, if it's a matter of building something, they got it. They have it under control. It's not something that you're like, oh, that's impossible. Aliens. So to the point where that's the stigma, that's the reputation. You can view it as a stigma, but you also can view it as, they just have a reputation of being a strong worker. So whichever side of the fence you're on, they have the reputation of being strong, diligent workers. So with that in mind, why is it we're so diligent? And Andy, this can probably apply back to what Sergio said on our last live. Why is it that we're so known for our good work, good recognition, but horrible leadership and ownership qualities?
I think I would probably have to say the same thing. I mean, they just work. The work that they do is hard. I mean, I'm in construction and I do it, and it's really hard to do the work yourself and come back and have to try to run a business or try to teach yourself something. Especially if you're having family issues, and you live in a poor community, and there's probably gangs around you or something. Some people, a lot of people live in really disadvantaged communities, and they try their best to improve, but it's just not enough. And if they do it long enough, they will get a payout, but not everybody has that will, and understandably so. Because sometimes situations can get really out of hand. I mean, I've seen it. I've worked with inner city kids, teaching them the trades. This was a long time ago, LA Trade Tech. And one of the teachers there was like, "Yeah, man, some of these kids have never even seen the beach, and they live in LA. Can how crazy does that sound? So I think yeah, it's a tough economy, and if you don't, it takes a long time for you to get into that mindset of improving. If you have a job and it pays the bills, and you have so many other things going on, like that should be good. That should be good enough. I think there's also a stigma that like right now that everybody has to be an entrepreneur, and that's not the case. I think the economy is not the greatest, but it should be at a point where, like, yeah, if you pay your bills and you have a good job and you're a good person, like, that should be awesome. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but at the same time, I do want to see our communities, Latinos and Hispanics, you know, rise up, go up a couple rungs on the ladder. You know, because why not?
I love that. Eduardo.
Yeah, just touching back on that, like Andy says, it also is kind of sad when um we also carry that stigma that because we're Hispanic and we are business owners, our prices should be lower, you know,
Mm.
especially now that, for example, me, I do my very best to try and be a better business owner every day forward, right? So today I want to be better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today. And I have seen personally, you know, when I give out a number to certain clients and they immediately, reject it because I can tell that it's, like, I mean, it's sucks. It's probably even bad for me to mention it. But yeah, it's the reality. They see Hispanics, and if he's a business owner, it's like they get shocked by why is he that expensive, right? Aren't Hispanics supposed to be cheap labor? And that's that because we don't have the proper training. We don't have um mentors, and the worst thing is when you come to somebody that is actually a business owner that's been a business owner for quite some time, and you ask for help on getting numbers and all that stuff, not even asking specific questions like how much do you charge for this, but teach me this, they won't do it. So it just also puts you back into that hole again of like, okay, well, I'll stick to what I don't know, which is charge cheap and work extra hard. So yeah.
And what you guys both just tackled reflects exactly what the Small Business Association in 2023. Do you guys would take a guess? How many business owners are Latino in the construction industry?
Five,
Business owners, oh,
10, 15%.
What do you think?
I want to say less than that. Business owners, yeah, it's rare. It's rare to
Yeah.
have an actual Latino business owner. Um, Business
So
owner, legitimate business owner that pays
Yeah.
their
I, I,
insurances, that has all of that,
I
because
hope it's,
I can definitely tell that there's a lot of Hispanics that do work, you know, but they're not legitimate business owners. So I would
so
say
Mhm.
it's
take a guess.
really
Give me a
low.
number. Give me a number. You
I
said
would
less than
say
10.
I would say 15%, and it hurts to say that. You know, I want to be like, okay, yeah, mid 20%, 30%. I don't know, but I just say that number because I've been to a lot of business conferences and a lot of events, and it surprises me when I see another actual Hispanic or Latino business owner that looks like he's doing well. Rather, if he's on the stage speaking or something, or having a side note event at that huge event,
Yep.
it's just noticeable. And it's only been a couple times. They're like, okay, nice, that's pretty cool. So that's why I say 15%, and I
Yeah.
hope I hope it's big is more than
And,
that.
Ova, give us a number.
I want to say it's less than 15%, to be honest.
Pick a number, bro. There's no wrong answers.
Mm. Yeah, let's say 10%.
Perfect. If you guys are watching right now, comment down below. How many business owners do you think represent the Hispanic community? Give us a percentage. Out of 1 through 100, how many business owners are Hispanic descent? Comment down below. We're going to jump to the chat because we have some messages coming in. For example, we got Dirty Harry 707. He's saying, "Good evening, gentlemen." We have Tennessee Electrician. We have Quadley quality electricians. So Tennessee as a whole, the statewide is represented. We have Oliver Tree. He goes, it's really hard to educate when your mind is busy trying to find a way to survive. So when you're in survival mode, just like what you guys talked about, it's very hard to now want to go to school or want to learn when you're trying to figure out ends meet, you know? He goes, I'm also diagnosed with ADHD. Stay focused is really hard for me. I try to keep a routine and be disciplined. El Pelusa, he commented in Spanish, él tiene mucho razón, and he's talking about you, Eduardo. Justo hace unos días, dos contractors me llamaron y querían un precio más bajo porque decían que somos puro hispanos. Ellos saben que tenemos más calidad y velocidad. What do you guys think about that? He said, you guys are Hispanic. You guys should be cheaper. El Pelusa.
Yeah, but it's a like I told you, it sucks. But there we have been doing this also for much longer, and
Yep.
we know how to get things done. So yeah, we make it seem easy because we've just been doing it. We've been messing up also, throughout the whole process, and we
Yep.
learn from experience. So because we're like that and we're hardworking and we just want to get things done quick, because that's in us, doesn't mean that we should just get paid less.
I
That's
agree.
that
I
shouldn't be
agree.
the case. But
So
it
let's
is.
get back. Exactly. So let's get back to what I just asked the audience right now because a lot of them are throwing in their numbers. I asked from everybody across the United States how many business owners, remember, not in the field, just workers, how many business owners are in the construction industry that are Hispanic descent. And we have some answers. We have Martin, 20%. Olive Tree says we have to be 70%. Whoa, so we got big sides. The Solar Gladiator, 35%. Dirty Harry saying 30%. Martin goes, las letras no entran cuando se tiene hambre. So, if you guys, for some research, you guys who are contractors, I want you to understand how valuable each and every one of you are. Because the number that I'm about to show and share with you is going to blow your mind. We just asked, how many construction business owners are Latino in the industry? We had 70%, 35%, 30%. Endy shared at 15, Oval at 10. The Small Business Association says only 9% of construction business owners are Latino. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's why we are where we're at right now, because we don't make it into the business level, and then usually when you're there, you want to make it into the next level, and then be a civil servant, and then help out your community and change your community. And in order to get to those levels, you kind of have to learn all these soft skills. And so yeah, I think that's why we have all this immigration issues going on right now, because we don't have representatives that know and understand where we come from, our culture, our local economies, and hopefully that's going to change in the future. Once we start educating our youth and have them be real leaders, and then move up that ladder and get as high as possible. There's a disconnect. People become wealthy and then they kind of forget where they come from, and then they start voting certain ways. Hopefully, we could change that in the near future.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to changing, that's also another issue that we as Hispanics have, and some of us don't like change, and we have to. One of the it's probably wrong for me to say, but it's true. It's as Hispanics, we have that famous word saying like, screw it, screw
Yep.
it, and you. You can't just live your life by just saying screw it, you
Yep.
know? You just can't. You have to change that way of thinking, and that is what's going to help you level up. It's hard. It's really hard, you know? We are people that love to have fun,
Yep.
and that's what we're also known for, you know? We brought the micheladas here pretty much.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? That we like to party. But we have to also understand that life isn't always about party and about just going up and about and saying, "Nah, screw it." We can't. We have to stop that mentality, and that's what's gonna help us level up. That's what's gonna help my kid see from me as an example. And when he gets to a point in life, he'll know what he has to do.
I
There's
love
it's just it is what it is, and again, we're in a beautiful country that has all these, you know, rules and formalities, and we should also learn to live by them.
it. Yep.
This is not going to be about what I'm trying to get to is it's not about oh, we should do the legal way. That's just, that's not a topic that I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
It's more about having us Hispanics be a little bit more finding that strength in ourselves, and that um what's the word, we're worth more than just being a Hispanic that knows how to work. We're
I
worth
agree.
much
Agree.
more than that, and
Yeah.
we
I agree.
should learn to accept that.
I love
No,
that.
that's really great, and I think like I think you mentioned some things that I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like getting moving up the ladder, I was imagining you kind of have to get into these new mindsets, into these new habits, and sometimes you get into different circles, and they just act different, um, and you kind of lose your culture. You lose. That's what I was saying. Like some people, when they become wealthy, they forget where they come from. And I hope that we all do become wealthy, but we don't forget where we came from. We don't forget our culture, because sometimes, even me, I was telling my wife, I was like, what do we do for tradition? Like, she's Mexican, I'm Salvadoran, and I really don't know much of my culture's tradition. And I feel like we can't forget where, like I said, we can't forget where we come from on our way up the ladder. And I hope everyone listening, remembers that.
And I think
Yeah,
that conversations like these are so important.
yeah. It also sucks, or it's unfortunate when people move up the ladder and they usually forget where they come from. You know, it's really sad also because it does happen, much more common than than it isn't. Because it's the truth,
Yeah.
and there's even words for that we say, which is ya se le subió, no? He's already like he's all stuck up, because he made it, because he made his mill. He's a $5 million company now.
Mhm.
Um, it's true. You can't really feel superior to anybody else. And I hope that, heck, if I become, a $5 million company or even more, which that's one of my goals. Um, I really hope that I'm still able to help a brother out, help somebody else that's on his way up, and be there for them with whatever I can, and it's mainly knowledge, mainly changing that mentality. But it also, this is like, the AA meetings. You can't
Yep.
really take somebody to AA and say like, oh, you're gonna quit drinking right now, right? It has to come from you. And once you yourself admit that you want to be better, and you're say like, you know what, that's it. It's enough. I'm tired of living like this. Tired of living, paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of people thinking that I'm less or that I should get paid less because I'm Hispanic or
Yep.
Latino, you know?
We
And
have.
that is when you're going to start looking for a mentor,
Yep.
reading books, looking at even Instagram reels that teach you, um, give you that emotional strength,
Yeah.
It has to come from you. If you yourself don't do it, nobody's gonna come here and say like, "Hey, you want to do this? You want to be better?"
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yep. And I agree. And hold up, I just lost camera. Can you guys still see me though? Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. I just lost my top monitor, but it's still streaming. But no, you guys hit it on the head, and I love what you guys are saying. And I want to jump into this more because the comments are actually starting to pop off. We have Spartan Hero. He's literally asked, "Do you guys expect people not to change when they start making money?" And I want to jump on this because I want to give my personal take on this. Because me personally, it's exactly what Ovo was saying. When I would go back to visit my family, they would like. So we got the two sides: the Brazilian side, and then we got the Hispanic side. So for Oliveira, when we would go visit the Brazilian side of the family, they'll be like, "Oi, gente, o executivo tá aqui." So it's like the executives here now. You know what I mean? And then the Hispanic community, my family, Dominican, Puerto Rican, they're always like, "Oh, el jefe llegó." You know what I mean? So you have those two sides where they say they'll praise you for the level that you're at, but it's with a sarcastic ding, right?
Yeah.
So that's like
Yeah.
something that we typically always face, and a lot of us, and I'm pretty sure that's same with you guys, the background of the culture. But one thing that I started noticing, because just like you mentioned, that mindset shift, there's a lot of us who, when you're going and redeveloping yourself, that's a lot of hard conversations that you're going to have with yourself. Because one, you want to put yourself in new situations. You're working for things that you recognize, hey, maybe this wasn't better for you. Let's start off with a small example. Ever since we started my business, we started working a lot more hours. I was just eating the same food. And I don't know about you guys, your food is a lot more cleaner than ours. For Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, everything's fried. You have plátano, you have salami, you have todo está frito. You know what I mean? So everything's freaking fried when it comes to the Caribbean, and that doesn't do too good with your weight. So when you start working on yourself, Endy, you can agree, true or not, when you start working on your business, it's not just your business, it's all aspects of your life, right? So then you start cutting off fried food all the time. You start cutting off things, but it happens to be, that's our bread and butter. Everyone knows the Hispanic community for our food. So on a small scale, we already know, like, if you start shaping different things in your life, that doesn't mean I don't like Spanish food. That doesn't mean every Friday night my wife don't cook. We order from La Cruzela. It's a Dominican restaurant. We order them all the time because we just don't eat. But we recognize, like, hey, if you want to change, there's other things you got to change, just like your eating habits. Switching from fried food. That doesn't mean that you think you're better. It's just now the types of food that I eat, guess what? I'm not killing it with salt or seasoning, even though I like it. And then they're like, Americano, yeah. True or not? What do you guys think about that? How can you guys apply it? And once again, tackling it with Endy, what he just said of what? Do you expect people not to change when they make money? With my experience, with your experience, what do you think with what Nick just shared with us?
Sorry, I'm a little runny nose. I got a cold yesterday. No, you have to change. That's the thing, is you cannot go up the ladder and be the same person that you were at the bottom rungs. There's no way around it. You have to change. But what I was saying, what I was referring to is that people, once they get too far up the ladder or a lot higher up, they just start looking down a little bit too, arrogantly at people that are back down at the ladder. And you just mentioned a good point, that I think maybe that happens because as you're moving up, you're going to get a lot of hate, and not necessarily on purpose. That's just how certain people are wired, that they're going to, kind of little jabs at you as you're going up. And that type of mentality that person has is why they're going to stay where they're at, because they're just jabbing at kind of hating or kind of being jealous of people that are moving up. And I hope our community changes that, so that
And
we have
two guys on the chat. I want to give them a shout out. Bright Talent Group. They're based out of Indianapolis, and we have Oliveira based out of New Hampshire, Massachusetts area. Oliveira says, when you move to a different country, you have to change the way we think. And then Bright Group goes, If we are in the same spot, we will just have the same outcomes, basically. So we have two individuals, I don't know if you guys happen to follow Bright Talent Group. He's doing an apprenticeship program. He's doing electrical courses out in Indianapolis. So he knows exactly what we're talking about. So these guys are commenting. What about you guys? What are you guys thinking?
You asked, was that for the chat?
Yeah, no, for you guys. For you guys. I know you just commented. What about you, Ova?
Was this still regarding to the change?
The change. Yeah, I gave the illustration
Yeah,
of the food is one example.
that is.
And then the guys in the comments are
Um,
have to when you
yeah,
want to.
we there. You have to want to change, like I said. And then the other thing is going a little back is that as our culture will always throw those little jabs at us. Um, honestly, I mean, it sucks, but
Sure.
for some of them, it's just envy, you know? And if you see another person's
Mm,
success with envy, you're never gonna become something. And if you do become something, then I can already tell that it's gonna be, problematic. You're gonna be that douche of a
it
person
sure
because
live.
I know another fellow electrician right here in which um he wouldn't want to show off his success in certain parts until somebody told him like, nah, I think you should because it might encourage somebody else. And one of them was me. I saw that person's success and I didn't see it with like, he's being stuck up, you know. I
Mhm.
saw more like, damn, I can do this, I want that. I want to be a part of that circle. And for me to be a part of that circle, I have to change. Yeah, I'm also, me as my family, my background, we all eat everything fried. It's our bread and butter. That's why I look the way I look right now. And we started dieting also a few weeks ago, and it sucks. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Dieting sucks. But I also want to be able to, when I make it, enjoy it a little bit and then not have to just, spend it all on hospital bills because I'm way too fat. So, yeah, it's just you wanting to change. That's it. Just little things. You don't have to change your entire life. You don't have to do it also for somebody else. It has to be for yourself. For yourself,
Sure.
for your family, for your kids, you know?
I'm just letting
And
you know right now the chat is doing all fire emojis and they loving what you're saying. We have Guillermo saying is it's like what Steve Harvey said. When you're an ignorant person, you will be bigger ignorant when you have more money. If you are generous, you will be more generous. We have Bright Talent goes, agree 100% with Eduardo. And when you get a lot of people, will say how lucky you are. And then we are hard workers, but that's not enough. More than hard work, we need to know what to work for. We need to get knowledge, be creative. So these guys are agreeing everything with what you're saying. And I think that's where us as Hispanics, I think that's a big line for a lot of us. True or not, everyone assumes getting better means that you think you're better than everybody else. And we're
yeah.
warm-blooded creatures. Hispanics are very emotional, bro. To this day, you can listen to every song out there. True or not, the Spanish songs are the most descriptive, most emotional, but they're also the most powerful. You know what I mean? Like when you hear
Yeah.
some Spanish music, you're like, yo, that man loves that woman, right? Or you'll be like, yo, that woman broke his heart. True or not?
Yeah.
So we have that a lot. So it's the same when you throw in this sort of business stuff. A lot of people, I feel like, tie the success thing or the getting better thing as in like, oh, you think you're better than everybody else. And especially then you throw in the warm-blooded culture with it. That's where I think a lot of the conflicts, a lot of the head clashing jumps in. What do you think about that, Andy?
I think, yeah, there's going to be differences all the time. I mean, differences in culture and just mindsets, really. And I just recently learned that they're saying your diet affects not just your health, but your mood and the way you think. And when I learned that, I was like, well, that makes so much sense, man. Like if you go into these low income communities, they're gonna have nothing but liquor stores and fast food around them, and
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
are eating nothing but chips and
In
donuts all
Arizona,
the time at 7-Eleven. And even me, like I'm always at 7-Eleven, and I
I was gonna
dude,
say, are you
while I
spying on me,
wasn't.
Andy?
no, that's my guilty pleasure. Me and my wife, when we put the kids down at 11 o'clock, we call Grubhub for 7-Eleven, and we get chips and we get,
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of points at 7-Eleven. I'll tell you that.
yeah, buddy. Yeah,
Yeah,
drop that phone number. Bop, bop, bop.
yeah. So I mean, it's balanced though. Like it sucks to have to eat healthy all the time. We've been doing it for a while, and so I was out of 7-Eleven for a long time, and now I'm kind of been too busy, so I have to eat at 7-Eleven a couple more times. But all
Yeah,
those things play into your success. Honestly, it's scientifically proven that a bad diet will make you more aggressive, will make you think less straight, less creative. So like I said, yeah, we have to improve that.
I love it. So, guys,
Well, I
we
don't
talked.
know, but my mood went bonkers when I went on a diet, so I became moody.
Yeah,
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
somebody
especially
yeah,
when
give
for
me
you
my
sure.
start cutting off
chips.
that carbs. Yeah, we can go on.
But
But man,
um,
no, I
like you
appreciate
said, Will, about the emotions is also as Hispanics, one emotion that we have is that we're very proud, and
Machismo.
it's good to be proud, you know, but we also have to accept help when it's also given to us. And that's something that we don't really, you know, do sometimes. When somebody generally is asking you how they can help you, um, take it, take it. The doesn't mean asking for a handout, but if that help can change, you know, your perspective in life, just
yeah,
do it.
I love it. I love
Absolutely.
it. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys are comment. We're running up on our time because I know the camera's going to overheat soon. So I just wanted to share some final remarks that we covered today. One, immigrant dominate trades, especially trades like roofing, concrete, drywall, framing. We talked about this. We're hard workers, but it seems like the soft skills, the fact lack of communication, that language barrier that Sergio mentioned in the last slide, is what holds us back from going to skill trades, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, mechanical. We see that the stigma, the jokes, the memes we see online always speaks on Hispanic communities like we're amazing workers, but that seems to be all that they do. We're not known for our leadership skills, we're not known for our ownership skills, because even though we make 30% of the workforce when it comes to construction industry, and there's some states like California, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Houston, that 50% of construction crews are Hispanic, yet only 9%, based off the Small Business Association, are business owned and they are Latino descent. Those are some of the stats for you guys to look up if you guys want to do research. Once again, Endy, once again, Eduardo, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Do you guys want to leave off any insight, any personal experience, any words for anybody else who want to talk about the immigrants who built America, episode 2, who's really building America? Final thoughts?
Just stay strong. Um, we're here for you guys. We're here for our communities, and we're working to make it better for everybody.
Eduardo?
Same thing. There's a lot of things going on right now, and it's sad in both areas. Both sides of the coin right here are I don't want to say the word losing, but we're it's just not right on both sides. And if we could just also be more together, more united, we can make a lot of great things happen.
Appreciate both of you guys. Love you guys. Can't wait to catch you guys on episode 3, which is going to be next Tuesday. If you guys have any question, comments, concerns, feel free to drop it down on the chat below. Feel free to watch this recording back on YouTube. Everybody have a good night. Thank you. Ooh, that was fun. Appreciate you guys. That was a good one.
Thanks, dude. All right.
Fun?
Talk later.
Perfect. I'll let you know with the link once we get it up, okay?
For sure.
All right, bye.